about Oso Ighodaro. I think that's how you say his name. At least he's a center from Marquette, 6'11", around 235 pounds, and also had around a 6'11" wingspan as well. He'll be just about 22 years old when the draft takes place. And after spending 4 years at Marquette, he does look ready to take on the NBA challenge. He averaged 13 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists per game. And he shot 58% from the field, 62% from the free throw line. He really didn't attempt many threes, so that 58% from the field is basically his 2-point percentage. And he averaged 1.1 steals and 1.3 blocks. And then on the flip side, just under 2 turnovers per game. So what are the positives with Oso? Well, he's a really good passer, especially for a big man. He can handle the ball. He can grab and go, so he can get the defensive rebound and start the fast break without making an outlet pass. And he's really good at playing in that short roll area, where if they run the pick and roll and they send 2 at Tyler Kolek, Ighodaro is really good at getting the ball and playing 4-on-3 and either going into his little short push shot floater. It's very similar to like an Isaiah Hartenstein, if you're familiar, or kicking out to a shooter in the corners. Marquette had a lot of good 3-point shooting options, and that's how they like to play. So Ighodaro has a very unique build, I would say, for the center position, compared to most guys who are more rim runners, shot blockers, or even 3-point shooters. He's really none of those things. He's a decent shot blocker, but he's not going to have a level of intimidation on opposing ball handlers that will prevent them from coming inside. So it's more so that he does get blocks rather than he's a true out-and-out rim protector. And then, one thing I noticed just watching him play is that he may end up being better suited some ways to the power forward position, especially if he can knock down a 3. Now, if he can't, I think he's got a role as like a smaller, unique style center where his passing is really accentuated. 3 assists per game for a center is really good, especially at the collegiate level. And, use him as a passer, short roll, etc. So that's kind of his style. And so there's definitely some positives with Ighodaro. Now, the flip side. When I watch Ighodaro, the one thing that would kind of bother me about his play style would be the turnovers. Like, he is at almost 2 turnovers a game to 3 assists. Solid assist to turnover ratio, but just the turnovers weren't like the best. They would just be kind of like he dribbled a little too far, lost control of the ball, not necessarily a great pass. Like, sometimes you can live with the turnovers when the idea is good, but for me, the games at least that I watched of Ighodaro, the turnovers did not seem to be the best. And then these two negatives kind of fall in the same boat. So he didn't seek out contact, like offensively. He didn't go into contact. He didn't try to drive into contact. And then similarly, I wish he played with a level of aggression more consistently on both ends of the court. And there are times where you'll see it where, he'll get an alley-oop or a drive and he'll finish really assertively and aggressively going to the basket. But they're like flashes rather than the consistent game for Ighodaro. And to me, it's just something that is probably never going to be a consistent aspect of his game. And for that reason, when I ask myself, would I draft Ighodaro? The answer for me is no. Maybe, but most likely no. And just because he doesn't fit the play style that I'm looking for from my big men. And to speak on that more specifically, he just doesn't play with, like I said, the level of aggression and assertiveness that I would like to see. I think he goes somewhere between 45 and 60 in this year's draft. The team fits like the Clippers. Their big guys are getting older behind Zubac. The Nuggets, I think he could be a good fit there as a passing big man behind Jokic. And then the Warriors, they like their big men to be a little more skilled, so I think he could fit in well there. And for this particular prospect, I do have a comp. I think his game is pretty reminiscent of Dwight Powell of the Mavs. Just a guy who, he's not a great shot blocker, but he's a decent defender. He can pass. He's got touch around the rim, and he's a smart player. So I think there's some definite positives with Ighodaro. I'm curious what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.